Titans Talk here on News Channel 5 Plus this Monday night after a Titans loss in New Jersey against the New York Jets, 27-24 in overtime yesterday afternoon. Now sights turn towards the Jacksonville Jaguars, a trip down to Florida this coming Sunday. You can watch, of course, at noon on News Channel 5. Back to the phones we go. Let's try Eric again. Eric, do we have you this time?
Can you hear me?
I can. Good.
Yeah,
Welcome to the show.
I have no idea what happened. I was yelling into the phone. I didn't know what was going on. But listen, a couple of things I wanted to talk about the Titans game yesterday, and it's just concerning their offense. And I'm generally not a person that likes to criticize the coaches or criticize play call and all that type of stuff. But there were two issues that I had. One was, of course, the issues with the sacks and everything. It was just, I was kind of surprised they didn't at least try some sort of rollout where they had Tanner running, because he certainly was effective with his legs the week before, where he had the big rushes last week. I think he had something like 5 carries for like 56 yards or whatever it was. I'm surprised he didn't do that more. But one of the plays that really just bothered me, and listen, I understand a lot of times they don't want Derrick Henry on third down, and I've heard part of the reason is because he's not a good blocker. That's maybe the reason. But I guess it was a third and short. It was actually 3rd and 1. Ben Jones was out of the game because I think he'd been dinged up. And they go into the shotgun, and the ball is snapped way over Tannehill's head, and he had to take a sack. And I just didn't understand, with Ben Jones out, why didn't you just go in the sun and just run the ball for just 1 yard? I understand you have to go in the shotgun or in the passing down. You know, you have to do that if it's 3rd and 4, 3rd and 5. But with 3rd and 1, why didn't you try to run the ball? Because in that instance, we might have scored a touchdown. I think, weren't we inside the 10 or something like that?
It was at the 11, yeah.
Shot. Or 11, yeah. I thought that was an extra to get a touchdown. And that, to me, was just really a missed and blown opportunity right there. And, you know, I just did not understand that play call. Good talk to you, Steve. Take care, and we'll talk again soon.
Yeah, thanks, Eric. I think those are really good points. Specifically, my issue, and I don't want to bury Todd Downing, the 4th game as an offensive coordinator with this team, and we all know the bodies that were out or severely hampered, like Ben Jones, even when he came back in the game yesterday. So he wasn't dealing with a full deck of cards necessarily. But when you're not dealing with the full deck of cards, sometimes you have to play to the strengths that you do have out there. And Derrick Henry is one of them. He ran for 157 yards yesterday. It puzzled me in some of those red zone situations that were shorter yardage that he wasn't on the field. And maybe you're not going to run it with him. Maybe ultimately you end up passing out of 3rd and 2. But why would you not have him on the field? It was clear the Jets didn't have any fear of the wide receiver threats that the Titans had on the field yesterday. They sold out to say, we're going to try to stop the run. Probably won't be successful, but we're going to try. And we're going to try and blitz you up and get sacks and force early throws and bad throws and errant throws and all that, because, frankly, we don't believe you can beat us on the back end. And it proved out to be the case. But if it's 3rd and 2 and Henry's on the field, now you have to at least honor the idea that they're going to run the football there. And you have to play the defense a little bit differently. Maybe you end up still throwing it. But the defense is going to look a little bit differently. It's going to be a different package if Derrick Henry's on the field on 3rd and 2. So I don't understand, in yesterday's game, when there was no A.J. Brown and no Julio Jones, why they didn't use that more. I get it's not their base. I get that they've done the analytics on it, and they think that 3rd and 2 in general in the NFL is a better passing down. And normally with A.J. Brown and Julio Jones, it's probably true. Yesterday, I'm not sure it was. And we still didn't see that type of adjustment. And in particular, on the play you're talking about, you're at the 11-yard line. You just lost Ben Jones. You've got a center that's relatively quick into the game. And frankly, if you watch the Titans in training camp, they had issues when it wasn't Ben Jones at snapping the ball in the shotgun. Wasn't all Aaron Brewer, but they had issues when it wasn't number 60. And so to put it in that situation yesterday, yeah, you expect the snap to be on target. You expect to be able to perform in that situation. But why? Why not be under center? Why not quarterback sneak it? Why not hand it to Henry? Play it safe in that situation. They did it, and I don't understand it. And I think the point of the rollouts, absolutely. They did it the week before against the Colts. They did it yesterday on the 2-point conversion. That play worked very well. I think moving the pocket given the pressure the Jets were getting, was in line, and they just didn't do it. So I think there are some real criticisms to be levied at Todd Downing, the Titans coaching staff, for the way they managed the game yesterday. Again, they weren't dealt with a full deck of cards. They had to do some other things, but sometimes you have to be at your most creative when the going gets tough and you don't have all the guys that you expect to have. Sometimes that's when you have to do your best coaching. And I didn't see that yesterday from the Titans, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Go to line 2, say hello to Matt. Matt, good evening. Welcome to Titans Talk.
Hey.
Yeah, go ahead, Matt. You're on the air.
All right. I want to talk about. Hey, man. They killing the quarterback. I mean, from the first game to this game, the offensive line ain't really doing that great of a job. And the secondary, I mean, the corners and they're just not doing that. They're giving up big passes. The quarterbacks are eating them up. You're right. You can't just depend on Henry doing it all. You gotta. They need to start playing, like the Titans used to play. And that's all. The safeties, the corners. How many times Henry's been sacked this year? Not Henry, but Tannehill.
17.
That's bad, isn't it? 4 games.
Yeah, Matt, thanks for the call. We appreciate it. And there's no question. The Titans have to play better, and it really starts with the offensive side of the ball. You can talk about the defense. You can talk about the big plays they've allowed. They've got to cut those out or at least limit them. But make no mistake about it. We weren't sitting here in August talking about how the Titans were going to have an elite defense. We hoped it would be better, and frankly, it probably has been better than it was last year when they were 28th in the league and 29th against the pass. You hoped for a little bit of improvement there. Maybe you got it. What we haven't seen this year is what we expected from the offense. The fear, of course, was that the offense would regress from where it was at an elite level in this league. And that, unfortunately, is what we've seen through 4 weeks. The offensive line has not been as touted. You can't give up that many sacks. And the passing game has never solidified. So the only thing that has been as advertised about the offense has been Derrick Henry running the football. And I think you can count on that week in and week out. But you got to have more than that. Some of it's health, but some of it is starting to execute, and some of it is these coaches figuring out whoever they have on the field, because we don't know if they're going to have A.J. Brown or Julio Jones back Sunday in Jacksonville. Whoever's out there, though, better be ready, because they've got to perform at a better level and be ready to finish drives in the way they weren't able to do yesterday in New York, or they're going to be in for another dogfight against another team that enters the game with 0 wins. And that cannot happen if you expect to be the caliber of team that the Titans expect to be. Phone line still open, 737-7767. This is Titans Talk. We'll take another break, and we'll be back here on News Channel 5+.